My name is Silvia Solá, and this is Thesis Writing for the Sciences. Now, this is strange and probably unusual, but I will start by telling you what we're not going to do in this course. So this course is not intended for you to produce the manuscript of your thesis in about 10 days and then send it to me so I correct it and give you feedback. This you're going to do later on with your supervisor and with other readers that you might choose within your field so they give you feedback on what you produce. What this course will do is the following. We will first focus on the process of writing and what it entails and what it requires. So we will not focus so much in the finished product, but in the way to get there. We will also talk about habit acquisition. Now, many people who have done dissertations will tell you that the most important thing to produce a large body of writing is to know what habits you should have and to develop them across a long period of time. Not all things work for everybody, that's true, but there are some proven methods that perhaps will help you do this task more efficiently. I will also try and help you understand the challenge posed by writing a thesis, what it requires, what it demands from you, and I'm sure you know many of them, but now it is very, very important, and since you're now preparing to write your dissertation, you know exactly what that will mean in your life and what that will mean in terms of time demands, space even demands, and the constraints that you will need to adapt to. Okay, so let's look at the mechanics of the course. Yes, this course is asynchronous. What that means is the material has been produced before you get to the course and you will be working on your own. We might have Teams sessions, and that means that through Teams I might connect with you if I see that something needs live explanations, or even if you ask to have live explanations on particular issues along the course. But in general, I think that with the body of materials that I'm going to post, you will be able to work on your own and understand the spirit. At the beginning of each one of the units, I will most probably add a short video to guide you through the session. And after that, if you want to give me feedback and you say, oh, you know what, we will need more explanations on, I don't know, what a compilation is and how it is different from a monograph. I will try and record something for you, or perhaps organize a team session so we can talk about it face-to-face, let's say. Okay, so what's very important is we will review one unit a day. And when you see the units, you will say, but they are not necessarily units. We will consider them units, okay? I've divided the course into 10 chunks that are more or less the same length. There's a lot of work to do in each one of them. You also have things like recommended readings that you don't necessarily need to do, but they are there. And if you want to go back to them later on because you think it might be helpful, not now, but at a later date, that's okay. That's perfectly fine, okay? You will have to decide what to do first, what to do next. I will talk about assessment in a moment, so you will see what you are required to do in each one of the units and what you might leave for later, okay? Now, when you open your course, you have been registered already. So when you open your course, what you will see is 3 sections. One that is a big picture, and you will think, why is this here? Well, to welcome you to the course. Yes, then you will see the home section, and then you will see the credits and recommended bibliography and resources, and that's all. Okay, I will make each unit available every day. You won't see them all, and I'm sorry because I showed you this before I should have, because the course is organized by tabs, if you try to click on the tabs that are not available, you will receive a message that will say that this unit is not visible for you. Okay, so that means that when we start, on the day that we start the course, you will see Unit 1 only. The next day you will see 1 and 2 and so on. Okay, I will usually reveal the units a few hours before the class, but sometimes if my time is tight as well, I will just do it right before your lessons. Okay, and let me just mention this very quickly. I will be available for you and only you during the 2 hours of the lesson. So your lessons are going to be from 12:30 to 2:30, and even if we don't see each other, I will be sitting in front of my computer waiting for you to tell me things. If you need something, if you have questions, if you want to make a comment because wow, you liked something or you disliked it, or you think, "Ah, I don't agree with this," and I will probably be giving you feedback on the forums as well. Okay, so there you go. Now, assessment. This is the big question all students ask at the beginning of courses. So let me tell you how this is going to go. You will have to do 2 activities daily. Okay, one activity is the attendance task or activity. These tasks are usually at the beginning of the unit, so you will see a heading with the name of the unit, the title, and after that an attendance activity. And the strategies that I followed to design these activities will force you somehow to identify yourselves or to share answers in order for me to see if you have attended the class. Okay, this is necessary for formal reasons, but also because we need to keep a register of your attendance. Okay, so you will have time to complete these activities in the 24 hours after the beginning, the time the class begins. Yes, so your attendance activities will be valid from 12:30, for example, Monday, to 12:30 Tuesday. If you answer or participate on a forum after that, your attendance will not be registered. Okay, so you need to make sure you do this way. And I know this may be confusing, but I hope it's not. You will also have another activity that you will have to do every single day. Now, attendance is compulsory, at least to 70% of the lessons. Yes, you should have an attendance that equals 70%. I will register that by checking your attendance activities, and I will also give you 10% of the mark, of the final mark, based on your attendance activities. And this is marked on a basis of do or not do. Okay, so if you do the activity, basically you will be fine. The other daily activity that you will do is the thesis task. So on your first day, I will ask you to choose a thesis that is related to your field and that you think might work either as a model for you or as a sample of the piece of writing. Okay, and along the course you will be working with this thesis and you will probably have to read it all. I am a firm believer that the best way to learn how to write a body of writing is by reading something similar. So if you read many theses, you will end up understanding what the spirit behind the thesis is. So this is a bit the goal of this task. This task you should do between the ending time of each class and the 24 hours after. So you will have time to do this task, and to make it valid, if you do it between, for example, 12:30, that would be okay, and 2:30 on the next day. Now, the collection of these activities will be worth 20% of your final mark. Next, we will have something that I have called the knowledge gap, that you can also call the research gap. You will produce a 250 word sample um, devoted only to identifying the research gap in your thesis. Hopefully, by now you have an idea of the direction you're taking, and what I would want to see is the last piece of the analysis of literature you do and how you identify your gap, how you plan to fill it, and that should lead you directly to your research question. Okay, this is probably the crucial element in any thesis, and I will give you thorough feedback on this, so it is a great advantage that you can produce this. You will find instructions to each one of the activities on the home page of the course that is already available. Okay, so this activity will be worth 30% of your final mark. And finally, we have the last assignment, which is a thesis proposal. Now, you probably did something similar to a thesis proposal when you first applied for your PhD. Now, what's important to remember is this is going to be a bit different because you need to argue the proposal that I am asking you to do in a different way. So again, the instructions you will find on the home page. You can click on the link. By the way, all the links that are fresh and active in the course are marked in pink. It's the same pink that you can see now in the word proposal. So they will be very easy to find. And from there, you can have access to different areas of the course that are not necessarily visible for you. They are visible for me, but you will have access to them with just clicking on these words that are marked in pink. And this final piece of writing will be worth 40% of your mark. Okay? Now, the research gap, I'm going back now. The research gap is due on July the 8th. We will do some work related to this segment, and the proposal is due on the 13th, okay, of July. That's the day before we end. I mark really quickly. I try at least, so I hope to have your marks in 1 or 2 days. Okay, we can talk about this. If you have any doubts, obviously you can get in touch, and this is the way to get in touch. You can send me an email to this particular address, or you can get in touch through the forums, the messaging system of Moodle, and that will be okay too. I usually reply as soon as I see the message, but please don't send me messages hoping they are answered, for example, at 11 in the evening, because probably I won't reply till the next day. Okay, so what I mean is, if you're reasonable about the time you send me the messages, maybe you will get an immediate reply. But if you send me messages way too late, perhaps I won't be able to answer so quickly. But I do try to do it as soon as I can. So I really do hope that you enjoy the course. Please get in touch if you need anything, if you have a question, if you want to talk about something, by all means, just send me a couple of lines and we can discuss whatever it is that you need. I wish you a great time in this course and see you next time.